Welcome back to Making Conversations Count. Reasons to be Cheerful, Part 2. Now, it's my birthday week and it's a big 0 on the end of the numbers. So to celebrate, we have a very special episode for you to join in because we're making conversations about laughter count. Or if you're not posh like me, it's laughter. Let's go! What's new, Wendy Woo? Well, thank you so much for listening. You've got us back into the Apple Podcast charts again in the UK and in Romania. If you're listening from Romania, do drop us a line, say hi. Love to give you a shout out. What's been your favourite show so far? I'd love to learn more. Oh, and you need to listen all the way to the end because there's a special prize up for grabs for you lucky listeners. It's our birthday gift to you. Anyhow, let's get back to this laughter business. This show comes with a disclaimer. I want every listener to reach for a handkerchief right now. You may also need something a little bit stronger because this episode is guaranteed to make you cry. And when I say cry, you are going to be streaming down your face and you might even pop out a little bit of wee because you're going to be entertained today. This is my birthday edition and I can't think of a better person to share it with than Pete Cann, the laughter man. If I had a whistle, I'd blow it.
What have I got? I've got this.
Yes! Welcome to the show, Pete.
Well, thanks for having me, Wendy. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I am something with a naught. You can make it up as you go along. I'm going to keep it on 30, for the duration.
30.
It's better than my hair. Pete, conversation counts. What's the best line you've got to get us all laughing straight away?
The best way to get everyone laughing is probably just to do a quick demo, I suppose, at the beginning, isn't it? So what we're going to do, we're just going to take a nice deep breath in and we're just going to let out a long sigh. So take a deep breath in.
And Neil's got to join in. The producer's here. He's got to join in because I am not doing this on my own. It was messy last time. So come on, Neil.
Okay. So taking a deep breath in. We're just going to let out a long sigh. Okay, now we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to let out a long ha. So deep breath in. And ha. Okay.
Like you mean it, Neil.
So now we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds and we're going to laugh for 10 seconds like we haven't laughed all day. So take a deep breath in. Hold it, and
has anybody reached for the tissues yet?
Amazing.
How on earth did you get into laughter yoga, Pete? It's like the weirdest thing on the planet.
Yeah, so I was at a festival called WOMAD in 2016. I had to think about when it was then. And I was walking through the Arboretum and I heard laughter. And I thought to myself, there's a comedian on stage. So I walked around the corner, the Arboretum, and I was greeted by 100 people just lying on the floor laughing for no reason at all. And I was just like, what is going on? I know I'm at a festival, but this is crazy. And there was a sign saying laughter yoga daily at 11:30. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and try this tomorrow. So I saw Chloe, my wife, and the kids, and I said, look, I'm going to go and do laughter yoga tomorrow. Do you want to join me? And they're like, no, Go and do it yourself. Go and enjoy yourself. So anyway, I went to the
you sound like a madman.
Yeah, exactly. I went to the session, and the lying down bit was the end of the session. So we did lots of laughing and breathing exercises. And the fact is, your body doesn't know the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. So we started doing all these fake laughing exercises. Then this real laughter started coming on. And then when we all lay down at the end, you just cannot stop laughing. And I was lying there and I was creased up, and for probably about 10 minutes, just continuously laughing. And then Steve, who was running it at the time, basically said, right, everyone just calm down a little bit and just let out any last giggles. And this lady next to me just went like that. And I was just like, boom, straight off again. I was laughing. At the end of a laughter yoga session, you do a meditation. So we did this meditation and sort of grounded us. And I sat back up and I felt really high, Wendy. I felt really wide awake, really just energized. And I remember going back and seeing Chloe at the kids' field, which was just around the corner. And like my eyes were like saucers. I was just like really wired. And she's like, what are you on? And I was like, this is laughter. And I knew from then that I had to do more of this because I knew how it made me feel at that moment of time. And so in 2017, I dived in and I did all 4 days of the laughter yoga and just got onto this magical ride that I'm on at the moment.
How do you start a conversation with customers? So when you want to be helping people, obviously you're going to do this for free, and naturally, because I can just tell you that kind of guy that would go around and go, oh, just have a little giggle with me, come on, join in. But it's, in all seriousness, this is your job. You do this for real. So how do you strike up the conversation with people and go, I think you need a bit of laughter in your life?
Well, the first time, whenever I speak to anyone, I always start with a chuckle anytime. That's just, I suppose, on brand. I just start just going. I always ask sort of how they find their dynamics in the team. How are their team meetings? How do they find the energy levels? Because actually, especially at the moment where everything's quite remote and a bit disjointed, I sort of say, look, by bringing me into your team meeting, you'll bring some energy into the room. You'll bring the creative minds. You'll also connect people. So it's very much, offering that as a service and just bringing some, like I say, some energizing their team meetings.
I guess it leaves people in a positive place.
Yes, completely. How can you not feel good after laughing for 30 minutes solidly?
Just a few chuckles with you is good enough, I'm sure, a testament to that. What are the byproducts then, Pete? Because, this has got to be a conversation starter as well, because whilst you want to feel positive and leave people positive, people are obviously going to reflect on why they don't feel like that in the first place, and be able to sort of pinpoint and identify some of those things. Yeah.
So I think it's just a case of trying to explain what the benefits are of laughter for a start. The fact that it's a release of endorphins, which are our happy hormones. So it automatically makes us feel good about ourselves. But we also get the spike of serotonin, dopamine, which are also good positive chemicals, which also reduces stress and anxiety. So, there's obviously a lot of that kicking around at the moment with just everything that's going on in the world. It's just like, well, actually, by having a laughter session, you can actually zone out for 10, 15 minutes where you're actually just conscious. Well, you're not conscious of anything apart from being in the present. So it's just trying to explain that to people and just saying, look, there's, it's not just about having a laugh. It's actually, there are some scientifically proven facts that make this a good thing for you to do.
What would you recommend as a taster session for people? If they've got remote teams at the moment, what kind of session could they expect?
It's a 30-minute interactive session. So literally I will come to their Zoom room or Teams or whatever platform they want to do it in, do a little introduction into laughter, all the benefits. And then we do like a 15-minute practical laughing, breathing session. So it's interesting because some people are just sat there just going, I don't want to laugh. But actually the way that I've got my set list set out is it's just gentle. And then before they know it, the last couple of exercises, they're laughing for 2 minutes solidly and they're just looking at their friends and colleagues just doing all that. I keep moving my hands like this, but I'm not going to be on video, but there's lots of movement in the arms. They're looking like children, just being childlike. And then I go into like a 5 to 10 minute grounding meditation at the end. So at the end of my sessions, I always ask people to close their eyes and sort of go through the meditation with me. And I always get everyone to rub their hands, put their hands on the end, over their eyes at the end, and come back with a big smile. And I'm always greeted with people just sat there blissed out, smiling at the camera. And I just know that it's been good for them.
I kind of want to spread this message as far and wide as I possibly can, because I know certainly that laughter is infectious, isn't it? Mm-hmm. If somebody's laughing, you can't help but join in. I will see people laughing, and there's a curiosity attached to it, isn't there? It's kind of like, if you're not involved in the joke or whatever it was that started the laughter, you're kind of like, hang on a minute, what are they, you want to find out what it's about, don't you?
Definitely. It's been proven that like I say, it's contagious, infectious, because there's videos out there where people have gone, there's another laughter Yogi. I know you might have seen the video. He's sat on or still on the tube, and he's just looking at his mobile phone, just laughing to himself. And by the end of it, the whole carriage are laughing with him. And it's just like, because of that infectiousness of someone like watching the joy in somebody laughing, and, just being open to just not having to worry about anything around them. It's the same as like with children. Like, this is a fact that, which blows my mind every time I say it, is that children laugh 200 to 300 times a day, like every day. And like as adults, we're lucky maybe to laugh 10 or 15 times a day. And it's just like, well, at what point did we stop laughing and being childlike? And if you think about when we're around small children, when they get into that childlike, that you automatically, you start melting in the middle, and you just everything sort of disappears, and you just start giggling, and you're like, well, why are we giggling? We don't know, but that's the fun part about it, isn't it?
Yeah. So, that is the part of it, isn't it? Is why do we stop, and how can we amplify it again? It's tapping into those things that give us that freedom to, I suppose, drop boundaries, drop our guard.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
Sorry, my candles are waggling.
I'm trying to work out how old you are by your candles. What is it, 8?
7.
I'm
7.
Well,
and I'm going to laugh about 300 times this week because it's my birthday week. So, Pete, what's next for the Laughter Man?
I'm big into visualization, into goal setting, and just visualizing my future. So the big vision is to be on stage in front of 2,000 people in San Francisco with my wife, a lovely wife, sat in the audience. But just one thing, like, because if I'm sat there looking at Chloe, I can certainly just go, look, I said this was going to happen. And the fact is, like, with 2,000 people on stage, I can't just go to San Francisco and do 2,000. I need to build that up and start building my, my audience online and in person as well. So I suppose on stage, in events, I'm the person that comes, the energizer, that post-lunch slump where you're at these events, and we've all been there, where you've just had a little bit too much lunch, and you just sat there, and that person's coming on the graveyard shift, and they're trying to be educational or motivational or whatever they are, but half the time you just sat there just trying to keep your eyes open. But actually, you get me come onto stage, right, everyone stand up, take some deep breath in, and just get everyone laughing and get everyone moving. There's definitely a space for me in that market. So
I think that slot needs to be accompanied with indigestion tablets that are branded up the Laughter Man. And do you know what? I don't think there'll be anybody that will be able to complain.
No, exactly. You can be like giggle pills.
Giggle pills, yeah. Laughter, it is exercise in its own right, isn't it? So if you don't want to go to the gym, just do laughter.
Definitely. It's a cardio workout. Again, it's another scientifically proven that 10 minutes of laughter is like 15 minutes on the rowing machine because of all the cardiovascular movement that's going in the lungs and the blood and stuff. It's like, well, actually,
I can just see everybody rushing to cancel their gym membership now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think there's a lot of people that would rather give up the rowing machine and laugh more. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. I used to do laughter sessions at my gym, actually, and it was quite interesting. People would turn up, and then one of the exercises was row laughter. So you get your rowing oars like this, Wendy, and come on, Neil, and you. So we're going to get our oars like that, and we'd go.
I look like I'm riding a horse.
Are you on a wheelie chair as well, Wendy? Are your chairs on wheels?
Yeah.
Is your chair on wheels? Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I'm on the bumper cars now. Oh dear. Well, do you know what? I think that dirty laugh's come out today, Pete. You've high five for that. High five. I ask everybody that comes on the show to think of a conversation that created a turning point for them. So I can't wait to hear what yours is, because it could be absolutely blooming anything.
It could be anything. There's a few, but I think one conversation that was a big turning point for me was, this is pre-Laughter actually. I used to belong to a program called the Entrepreneur Circle. I'm not sure if you've heard of them.
Oh,
but,
yeah, Mr. Bottrell.
Yeah. But that's him. Yeah, so Nigel, I was listening to one of his podcasts. So it was a bit one-sided conversation. But he was talking about Nightingale, the power... I always get this next bit wrong. But anyway, it's an audio about the power of the mind. And before then, I didn't really know much about sort of positive mindset. And so I literally sort of just listened to this 30-minute audio, and it just blew my mind to just actually, it was all about, what you put into your mind, how you program your mind is what you become, and it all about the visualization, goal setting. And it just was a massive game changer for me, because actually all of a sudden that was the start of my self-development journey. And all of a sudden, my bookcase is covered in, goal setting and being the best I can be, the habits of, successful people, all of the classics basically, but it all came
at
from
5
that.
in the morning. Them
Yes.
ones. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they're the ones. Yeah. So, funny enough, I'm not up at 5 every morning though, but you feel the difference though. It's the same as the laughter. I laugh every day for 10 minutes on Clubhouse. And I'll be honest, don't tell anyone, Wendy, but this morning I didn't, because the guys, if you can hear them in the background, that are doing the building work outside, that I let in at the same time as my Clubhouse was supposed to be on, and I didn't do it. And did I feel the difference that I didn't laugh this morning? I did. I just felt my energy level was a lot lower. And it's just really interesting that, how, if you miss
your daily fix.
You do need your fix. Thank you very much, because I'm getting it now.
See, all things happen for a reason. You had a party to go to.
Exactly.
So would you say that positive mindset has been the turning point for you, in as much as opening your mind and the possibilities of so much more?
Yeah, definitely. And just the fact, the visualization as well. I mean, we visualized this house that we live in now. We went to America for a month and visualized that 2 years prior. Yeah, once you first visualize something that then manifests itself, it's just pretty spooky, to be fair. And like some of the stuff, so a quick story. So my daughter is 10 now, but when we were 6, we did a vision board together. And she wanted to swim with dolphins was one thing, learn to read a book, learn to read more, should I say, learn to ride a bike. And then there was also a water slide, because she knew that we were going to America. She's like, I want to go on a water slide. 2 years later, we revisited that vision board and we were looking at it. And I said, oh, well, you've done the dolphins because Papa, my wife's dad, lives in Eilat in Israel, so we could swim with dolphins there. So that was a tick. The bike, the thing. And then we looked at the water slide, and Neela said to me, she's like, Daddy, that's the actual slide we went on at the water park where Mummy went to Warner Brothers studio for the day, and I took the kids to the water park. And I was just like, no. And then I Googled it, and it was the actual slide that we went on out of a choice of 15 slides in this one water park in, obviously in America, there's hundreds of water parks. And I just looked at her, and she looked at me, and we just mind was just like, how
Whoa.
mad.
Just
yeah, it was
that one, the chances
exactly.
of that happening.
Exactly. And just knowing that, if you want something that badly, it will manifest itself if you believe in it.
No, I think it's right. We have a tradition in our house. We don't do New Year's resolutions. We actually do a memory board. So what memories do we want to make this year? And there's 3 of us in the house. There's 4 of us in the family. That's growing. And there's usually 3 or 4 things on this board that we want to do. And we feel pretty good if we've achieved 2. Recently, it's been harder to do some of those things. But it's the memories that I think keep you going when you look back.
Definitely.
So then every year you reset, and you're always pushing for something more. Yeah,
celebrating as well. I've got a load of champagne corks here that basically every time we open a champagne bottle to celebrate something, we write on the cork. So this one here was when Chloe did the London Marathon in 2018. So we wrote on that. So it means that when you open your champagne, you then open this and you start just looking back at some of the other stuff and you think, well, actually, that was when we got a new office. That was when we got a new house. That was when our daughter got into the school we wanted to. So it's just a really nice way of celebrating, just good things. And it doesn't have to be big things either. Neela getting into the school that we wanted her to get into was choice of 2 in the area, and it was the better one that she got into, but we celebrated. Or was it just an excuse to drink champagne? I was
just thinking of how many excuses I could find. Certainly this week, I could find one big excuse. Can you guess what it is?
Is it your birthday?
Oh, I think it's my birthday. But strangely, I do keep my corks, and I've made cork boards. I've made a blackboard with a pinboard cork around it. And champagne corks I do keep, and I usually put the year. I find a silver coin with the year that we popped it, and I put that, it's like the old-fashioned, put the coin in the top of the cork bottle, but I've never thought of writing on what the memory was. So, you've taken it one step further for me. Brilliant.
You're welcome. I took it from someone else. Don't worry, I'm just passing it forward. That's how it is.
There is nothing wrong with paying it forward. We will pay it forward all the while. Now, I know that before we came on air, we had a little chat, and you very kindly offered me a birthday present, and I said I only need memories, and this is going to be a great memory for me. So I did say to you that if you wanted to gift something to the audience, that you could put an offer out for somebody to have a laughter session with you. So it's got to be a first come, first served, get in there, get in touch with us. And how would you want them to do that, Pete?
Well, I think it'd probably be best, Wendy, to go through you. Do you think?
Yeah,
I think that would be the best way to do. It's obviously your audience. So if they want to have a free session, then I would love to gift that to obviously you, Wendy, for your big 7. I want to say 7, then 0, but that ain't going to work now, is it? So you got 7 candles.
No,
and you got 0.
No.
So 30. So your 30th birthday. Is that better?
Yeah. Plus VAT and customs duty.
So if you're listening to this and you're like even a little bit intrigued into like, wait there, how have these two just laughed all the way through this whole episode, and why am I laughing listening to these two people chatting about laughter? Well, that's because laughter is so infectious and it's so powerful. So
what we'll do then, Pete, is we'll come up with a code word, and we'll release it at the very end of the episode, and you've got to get in touch with a code word. You can tell me after we finish. Deal?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a deal.
I love a bit of intrigue. Pete, there's only one thing that I can say to you now, which is thank you so much for joining me for my birthday episode. I really, really have loved having you on. And if people want to carry on the conversation, where are they going to find you hanging out and giggling?
So best place to come and find me at my website, which is petecann.com. So that's CANN for November.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks so much, Pete. See you soon.
Happy birthday. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, dear.
See, Neil's got silent laughter. Look.
Oh, it's a good job there's a mute button. Oh, my head's ever so hot in that hat. Well, that was Pete Cann, and you had to listen right the way to the very end for the very special birthday gift. And that is that you need to email us with the word candle. Now, you know how many candles that I need, but I don't need you to actually email or message us with that many candles. Just one will do. And we'll be picking a winner, and we'll let you know in next week's episode. Listening back to that myself, it's going to keep me filled up for a long time. And I do hope that you'll carry on not just the conversation, but the laughter, and reach out to Pete. He really does know his stuff. And did you listen out for that code? Do get in touch. We're waiting by the inbox. Next week, we're going to be carry on with that reasons to be cheerful, because we're going to be talking about engineering your marketing with Ros Conkey.
If you're going to design a marketing machine, you start with a specification. What does your marketing machine need to deliver? Well, it needs to churn out long-term loyal customers. So who specifically are those long-term loyal customers? And that's why we start with an ideal customer.
And breathe, everybody.